Шановні гості, пані та панове, сердечно вітаємо вас на нашому різдвяному ЄС-концерті в церкві Адольфа Фредрика.
Högt ärade gäster, mina damer och herrar, varmt välkomna till vår EU-julkonsert i Adolf Fredriks kyrka.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to all of you to our EU Christmas concert in the Church of Adolf Fredrik. This concert is organized by the representation of the European Commission in Sweden in close collaboration with embassies of EU member states to Sweden and the European Union National Institutes for Culture.
We would like to thank Adolf Fredriks musikklasser Farsta, who opened this year's EU Christmas concert with a Christmas carol from Ukraine, conducted by Maria Gondorina.
Szczedrik, Bountiful Evening, is a choral masterpiece written in 1914 by the Ukrainian composer Mykola Leontovich. The melody might have sounded familiar to you. The English version, Carol of the Bells, is one of the most popular Christmas carols in the world.
In solidarity with Ukraine, we have invited the Embassy of Ukraine and the Ukrainian Institute in Sweden as our special guests tonight.
While we take you on a musical journey throughout Europe, we would like to bring you tonight the message of peace.
We have the great pleasure to being your guides tonight. My name is Lena.
And my name is Nikos.
But before we continue, we would like to invite up on stage Erik from Pistohlkors, acting head of the representation of the European Commission in Sweden. Varsågod, Erik.
Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, dear friends, it's my pleasure as acting head of the representation in Stockholm to welcome you this evening for this celebration of Christmas. The EU Christmas concert is now firmly established on the Stockholm scene, with this the third edition. However, today we are celebrating under the dark clouds of war, which makes the need for solidarity and togetherness all the more important. The Ukrainian Christmas song, which we've just heard, is homage to our special guest tonight, as we recognize the sufferings that the people of Ukraine are going through. Our thoughts are with them. But being here tonight would not have been possible without the tremendous commitment and hard work by all those who have made it happen. I would like to extend my gratitude to the artists, the staff of their representation, led by Lena and Nikos, the collaboration of the EU member states' embassies, and last but not least, Adolf Fredrik's Church. The informal motto of the European Union is united in diversity. I look forward to tonight's celebration with all its similarities and differences. Enjoy the concert. Thank you.
Tack så mycket, Erik. Especially for this evening, we have produced a song booklet which should be in front of you.
In this booklet, you will find the program with the 23 songs that you will hear tonight. For each country, we have included information about the Christmas traditions, the performers, and the song. For example, you can learn about the Ukrainian Christmas favorite dish, kutia.
We have also included the lyrics in the original language, together with an English translation. This evening, you will hear songs in 20 out of the 24 official EU languages, plus Ukrainian.
It's been quite a journey for us as well. The first year we had 13 songs, last year we had 17, and this year a record of 23 participating countries.
So Nikos, we're almost reaching the maximum number of entries in the grand final of the Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh, yes. But then we would also need to invite Australia next year. So let's get going. Nu kör vi. let's welcome the first EU country to perform tonight. And this honor, ladies and gentlemen, goes to our smallest participating member state, Cyprus. Ειρήνη. This is how we call peace in the Greek language. In the words of the Cypriot poet Theodosis Pieridis, η ειρήνη είναι η μάνα των λαών. Peace is the mother of the peoples.
Christmas in Cyprus is celebrated on the 25th of December, with the early morning mass followed by family gatherings, where souvla and other traditional dishes are served. The two most popular treats of the seasons are melon macarona, cinnamon and orange cookies glazed in honey syrup and covered with nuts, and kourabiedes, almond biscuits coated with icing sugar.
Κυπριακά κάλαντα Χριστουγέννων. These are the Cypriot version of the Greek traditional Christmas carols, ancient songs that have been sung on the island since the Byzantine times. People gather to sing these songs, and often children will go around their neighborhood, knocking on doors and reiterating the traditional phrase, "Να τα πούμε," shall we sing? They usually start singing with the accompaniment of musical triangles and the tambourine. In return, they receive sweets or even small amounts of money.
Coming all the way from Cyprus to our EU Christmas concert, we welcome on stage the Cyprus Choral Association's Vocals Ensemble. They were formed in 2020 and their repertoire is mainly classical.
The Cypriot ensemble tonight will be conducted by Nikolaos Therapondos and the choir arrangement by Dimitra Philippou. Η συμμετοχή της Κύπρου στη χριστουγεννιάτικη συναυλία μας απόψε είναι τα κυπριακά κάλαντα Χριστουγέννων. A big round of applause, ένα θερμό χειροκρότημα παρακαλώ για το φωνητικό σύνολο μουσικών Παγκύπριου Συνδέσμου Χοροδιών. Paz. This is how peace is called in Portuguese. In the words of the Portuguese writer José Saramago, who won the Nobel Prize of Literature in 1998, a única revolução realmente digna de tal nome seria a revolução da paz.
According to Portuguese traditions, family gather on the 24th of December for Christmas dinner, where cod is the most important meal. The typical desserts are bolo rei, a cake filled with candied or dried fruits, broas castellares, and traditional fritters such as sonhos and rabanadas.
Natal dos Simples, Christmas of the Simple Ones, by Zeca Afonso, is a song that refers to the tradition of the janeiras. People come together to sing songs in the streets from the 1st to the 6th of January, announcing the birth of Jesus Christ and wishing the best for the new year. After singing, they hope to get a token of appreciation through the so-called janeiras, for example, chestnuts, walnuts, apples.
Singing for us tonight, Matias Martinez Carranza from Värmland, who is a pianist and singer of Latin American origin, and Felipe Jesus Minhava, who is a Portuguese musician based in Stockholm. Matias and Felipe met last year through their love for fado and have been playing together ever since.
Playing the Portuguese guitar tonight, Felipe Jesus Minhava, a canção portuguesa Natal dos Simples. Caloroso aplauso para Matias Martinez Carranza.
Cantar as janeiras, vamos cantar as janeiras. Por esses quintais adentro vamos, a raparigas solteiras. Por esses quintais adentro vamos, a raparigas solteiras. Pam pararapiri, pam pararapiri, pam 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 pam. Pam pararapiri, pam pararapiri, pam 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 pam. Vamos cantar orvalhadas, vamos cantar orvalhadas. Por esses quintais adentro vamos, a raparigas casadas. Por esses quintais adentro vamos, a raparigas casadas. Pam pararapiri, pam pararapiri, pam 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 pam. Pam pararapiri, pam pararapiri, pam 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 pam. Vira o vento e muda a sorte, vira o vento e muda a sorte. Por aqueles olivais perdidos foi-se embora. Só se lembra dos caminhos velhos quem tem saudade desta terra. Só se lembra dos caminhos velhos quem tem saudade desta terra. Pam parara piri pam parara piri pam 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 pam. Pam parara piri pam 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 pam. Quem tem a candeia acesa, quem tem a candeia acesa, rabanadas, pão e vinho novo, matava a fome, a pobreza. Rabanadas, pão e vinho novo, matava a fome, a pobreza. Pam parara piri pam 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 pam. Pam parara piri pam 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 pam. Cansa esta longura, já nos cansa esta longura. Só se lembra dos caminhos velhos quem tem saudade desta terra. Só se lembra dos caminhos velhos quem anda à noite à aventura. Pam parara piri pam 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 pam. Pam parara piri pam pam pam. Pam parara piri pam 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 pam. Pam parara piri pam 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 pam.
Rahu, the Estonian word for peace. An old Estonian proverb says, Raho kasvatab tüli kaotab. Peace builds and fosters, while war loses and destroys.
Christmas preparations in Estonia start already in November, when people come together to make the blood sausage and other traditional dishes. The Estonian word julud is of ancient Scandinavian origin and comes directly from the word jul. Estonians decorate their Christmas trees, and Santa Claus brings the gifts on the night of the 24th of December.
Jouluõhtul, on Christmas Eve, composed by Ester Mägi, who is widely regarded as the first lady of Estonian music. This year, she would have been 100 years old, and her legacy is widely celebrated in both Estonia and Sweden. Most of her works are inspired by Estonian folk melodies. The lyrics are by poet Milla Krim.
Our Estonian choir tonight is called Sweetest Song. They have been singing together for 5 years and have a broad repertoire from Estonian choir music to jazz.
Eesti laul, jõuluõhtul, suur aplaus, Sweetest Song.
Jõuluõhtul
Mir is peace in Bulgarian. In the words of the Bulgarian writer Kalina Malina, Kakvo ni zrzava nas decata, vogomrata svetovna šir, tovaj dumata krilata, najhubavata duma mir. What connects us, the children of the huge world? This is the word with wings, the best word, peace.
According to traditional beliefs in Bulgaria, listen to this, the Virgin Mary was in labor for 4 days before Christ was born. As of Day of Saint Ignatius, this day is associated with many folklore beliefs and superstitions. For instance, the first person to cross one's threshold will predict the future, the fortune and the future, I guess, for everyone living in that house for the full next year. On Christmas Eve, Bulgarian families gather around the table for a traditional vegetarian dinner with a very strict list of dishes, which must always be odd in number.
Tsarsko momche kon sedlae, a royal boy is saddling his horse. The Bulgarian song was written by composer and accordionist Kosta Kolev. There is a lot of symbolism in this song, referring to Jesus Christ, who conquers evil and brings prosperity and fertility to earth. By repeating the phrase kolladele throughout the whole lyrics, the song makes a clear reference to Christmas.
The choir Peronika was founded in 2014 by Mikhail Delchev. Their repertoire includes masterpieces of the rich Bulgarian folklore heritage.
Bulgarskата песен Царско момче кон седлае. Голям аплодисменти за Перуника.
Con
could step a little bit in.
Mier is the word for peace in Slovak. In the words of the Slovak poet Milan Rufus, in his poem Modlitba za mier, prayer for peace, remind our fathers, God above the stars, let them think a little about what will happen to us when they start a war and all their angels they spill on each other.
In Slovakia, Mikuláš, Santa Claus, arrives on the 6th of December and puts some candies or small gifts in the children's freshly polished boots, if they have been good. On Christmas Eve, children eagerly await the Ježíško, the Jesus child, who is one to bring their Christmas gifts and put them under the Christmas tree. During the day, the Christmas tree and a small nativity scene are prepared secretly in a room that cannot be entered until this Christmas dinner is over.
Domesta Betlema, to the city of Bethlehem. Pastieri, pastieri, hore stantje. Shepherds, shepherds, get up. We are going to listen to these two traditional Slovak Christmas carols, expressing joy and respect for the birth of Jesus Christ.
Our performers tonight are all students in the 4th grade of the elementary school Lilla Akademin in Stockholm. Adam Hallan, our singer, plays the violin and the marimba. He has been singing in Stockholm's gospel as a boy soprano for about a year.
Playing the piano tonight, Alexander Reznikov, and the flute, Weni Jan. Slovenskie piesne, Domesta Betlema, pastieri, pastieri, hore stantje. Veliki potlesk pre Adama Halana. Pace, this is how the Italians call peace. In the words of Saint Francis of Assisi, the patron saint of peace. La pace che annunziate con la bocca, abbiatela ancor più copiosa nei vostri cuori. While you are proclaiming peace with your lips, be careful to have it even more fully in your heart.
The traditional symbol among Christmas decorations in Italy is the nativity scene, presepe. Mangers built in various sizes with different materials are very common in Italian homes. On Christmas Eve, Italians eat the classic cenone, the big supper. For dessert, a slice of panettone, brioche, cake with raisins and candied fruit, or pandoro, brioche without raisins.
toccò la prima sorte a voi, pastori. The first lot fell to you, shepherds. The Italian entry is an aria from a cantata for Christmas Eve, O di Betlemme altera povertà, written by the Baroque composer Alessandro Scarlatti. It was presented on Christmas Eve 1695 at the Apostolic Palace in the Vatican. At that time, it was customary in Rome to celebrate Christmas Eve with a concert in the presence of the Pope and many cardinals.
Agnese Allegra is a singer, dancer, actress, and music researcher, both born in Catania and living currently in Verona. She performs both as a solo soprano and in various ensembles.
Playing the violin, Simone Piri, a young violinist performing regularly all across Europe. And playing the piano, Alberto Maron, a harpsichord accompanist at the conservatories of Milan and Venice. Allora, la canzone italiana stasera toccò la prima sorte a voi pastori. Per favore, un grande applauso per Agnese Allegra. Mir, peace in Polish. In the words of the Polish author Stanisław Lem, wojna jest najgorszym sposobem gromadzenia wiedzy o obcej kulturze. War is the worst way of gathering knowledge about the foreign language, about the foreign culture.
Christmas in Poland begins on the evening of the 24th of December, known as Vigilia, when the first star, symbolizing the Star of Bethlehem, appears in the sky. At Christmas dinner, 12 dishes are served as a symbol for the 12 apostles or for 12 months of the year. For instance, pierogi, dumplings, barszcz, beetroot soup or makowiec, poppy seed cake. In most houses, an extra place is set for an unexpected guest, as no one should be alone that evening.
Nie było miejsca dla ciebie. There was no place for you. The Polish song, composed by Józef Lasz, with the lyrics by Mateusz Jerzy, tells the story of Jesus Christ. The song was first performed in 1939 in the southern Polish town Nowy Sącz. Therefore, it is often called the Nowy Sącz Carol.
Thomas Sigrist was born in Switzerland, where he studied composition and classical singing. He currently works as a singer, composer, organist, and a conductor, both here in Stockholm but also in Uppsala.
Polska piosenka, nie było miejsca dla ciebie. Wielkie brawa dla Tomasz Sigrist.
Dla Ciebie w Betlejem w żadnej gospodzie i narodziłeś się, Jezu, w stajni, ubóstwie i chłodzie. Nie było miejsca, odszedłeś jako Zbawiciel na ziemię, by wyrwać z czarta niewoli nieszczęsne Adama plemię. Nie było miejsca, odszedłeś jako Zbawiciel na ziemię, by wyrwać z czarta niewoli nieszczęsne Adama plemię. Nie było miejsca, choć chciałeś ludzkość przytulić do łona i podać z krzyża grzesznikom zbawcze skrwawione ramiona. Nie było miejsca, odszedłeś ogień miłości zapalić i przez swą mękę najdroższą świat od zagłady ocalić. Nie było miejsca, odszedłeś ogień miłości zapalić i przez swą mękę najdroższą I lisy mają swe jamy i ptaszki swoje gniazdeczka. Dla ciebie miejsca nie było, tyś musiał szukać żubeczka. A czemuś Jezu na świecie tyle łez jęków kaduszy, bo nie ma miejsca dla ciebie w niejednej człowieczej duszy. A czemuś Jezu na świecie tyle łez jęków kaduszy, bo nie ma miejsca dla ciebie w niejednej człowieczej duszy.
Mir is the Slovenian word for peace. In the national anthem of Slovenia, written by the Slovenian poet France Prešeren, Zdravljica, a toast, God's blessing on all nations who long and work for that bright day when over earth's habitations no war, no strife shall hold its way, who long to see that all men free, no more shall foes, but neighbors be.
Children in Slovenia have not one, but 3 different Santas, bringing them gifts. Miklas, St. Nicholas, on the 5th of December, Bosicek, Santa Claus, on Christmas Eve, and Dedek Mraz, the Slovenian Santa, on New Year's Day. He is actually coming down from the country's highest mountain, Triglav.
Božji nam je rojen sin. God's son is born to us. The Slovenian song is written by the composer and organist Ivan Zupan. In 1897, he published a book with 13 newly written Christmas songs with the title 13 božičnih pesmi. The Slovenian entry was one among them and became quite popular. It has been republished many times and has almost become a folk song. The song is about the birth of Jesus Christ and how it was predicted already in the Old Testament.
The Slovenian choir Triglav, named after the mountain, is a mixed choir with a repertoire of Slovenian folk songs and evergreen melodies, happy, playful, mischievous, and sometimes a little homesick. Since 2018, the conductor of the choir is the opera singer Klementina Savnik, who performs at the Royal Swedish Opera here in Stockholm.
Slovenska pesem nocoj je Božji nam je rojen syn. Lep aplauz za slovenski pevski zbor Triglav.
Veselimo se.
Pace is peace in Romanian. In the words of the Romanian diplomat Nicolae Titulescu and former president of the General Assembly of the League of Nations, ființa umană își poate împlini destinul său numai în pacea creată de ordinea juridică. It is in the peace created by the legal order that the human being can fulfill its destiny.
Christmas celebrations in Romania begin on Christmas Eve with the decoration of the Christmas tree and children carol singing and dancing. The children then receive sweets, fruits and traditional cakes called coconaci. The Romanian Santa Claus is known as Moș Crăciun, Old Man Christmas.
Trei păstori, three shepherds. The Romanian song is a folkloric carol documented from the late 18th century. Between 1948 and 1989, one would be arrested for singing this or any other similar carol publicly in Romania. The very word Christmas was banned. Saying it in a large gathering meant expulsion from school or from any well-paid job. Only those carols making no explicit mention of Christ, Mary, or the word Christmas were somehow permitted. But people still treasure the carols, and so they were never lost.
We're very happy to have Dana Dragomir with us tonight. She is a Swedish pan flute musician and a composer of Romanian origin. She is best known for her interpretation of the song Mio, My Mio, written by ABBA. Dana is the first professional woman pan flute player in the world. She has achieved chart successes here in Sweden, being the first instrumental artist to make it to #1 on Svensktoppen.
Dana Dragomir is accompanied by two musicians tonight, Mattias Hellberg on the piano and backing vocals by Teodor Bagayan. Piesa romanesca Trei Păstori. Aplauze pentru Dana Dragomir.
Haideți fraților să mergem, haideți fraților să mergem. Raza soarelui, floarea soarelui, floricele să culegem și să facem o cunună și să facem o cunună. Raza soarelui, floarea soarelui, să împletim cu voie bună și să ducem lui Hristos și să ducem lui Hristos. Raza soarelui, floarea soarelui, să ne fie de folos. Raza soarelui, floarea soarelui, să ne fie de folos.
P, frede, friden, peace in the three national languages of Belgium, French, Dutch, and German. We chose a quote by Phil Bosmans, a Belgian priest and author. Det frede begint bij uzelf, niet op het slagveld, waar iemand verslagen moest worden, maar in je eigen woorden en daden. Peace starts with yourself, not on the battlefield, where someone is to be beaten, but in your own words and deeds.
The Christmas season in Belgium starts in early December, when Saint Nicolas brings gifts, candies, and chocolates to the children. There are over 100 Christmas markets across the country, where one could buy gifts and taste delicacies. Mulled wine is a popular drink, as well as strong Genever and hot chocolate, with a real melted chocolate.
Venez bergers, accourez tous. Come on, shepherds, all of you run. A popular song from Old Eno. It's a dialogue between an angel and a shepherd. The angel wakes up a group of shepherds and tells them to leave their pastures to pay homage to their newborn king. One of them wants to keep sleeping, but the angel explains how important this birth is.
The performers of the Belgian entry are 5 staff members and trainees of the Belgian Embassy to Sweden, the Wallonia Export and Investment Agency, and the Brussels Export and Investment Agency. They are going to sing the song half in French and half in Dutch.
Playing the guitar, Marie-Cerise Dumont. La chanson Belge ce soir, het Belgische liedje vanavond, das belgische Lied heute Abend. Venez bergers, accourez tous. A warm applause for our colleagues from the Belgian Embassy Choir.
Venez bergers, accourez tous, laissez vos pâturages. Un nouveau roi est né pour
Ειρήνη, you already know it by now, the word peace in Greek. In the words of the Greek poet Yannis Ritsos, αδέλφια μου, μες στην ειρήνη διάπλατα να σένει όλος ο κόσμος με όλα τα όνειρά του. Δώστε τα χέρια, αδέρφια μου, αυτό είναι η ειρήνη. My brothers, in peace the whole world breathes wide with all its dreams. Shake hands, my brothers, this is peace.
In Greece, instead of the Christmas tree, the traditional custom is to decorate a small sailing boat, especially in the Greek islands and port cities. Aios Vasilis, Saint Basil, is the Greek version of Santa Claus, who brings the presents on New Year's Eve while children are sleeping.
Κάλαντα Χριστουγέννων Δωδεκανήσου, Christmas carols from the Dodecanese. The traditional Christmas carols are sung on Christmas Eve, 24th of December, all over Greece to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. They exist in around 30 different versions, and tonight we will hear the version from the Dodecanese, the 12 islands, the island group in the southeastern Aegean Sea, including Rhodes and Kos. The lyrics in this version have strong religious references, while the melody has been adapted with a short chorus repeating the word Christmas, which means Christougena in Greek.
The Greek choir Orpheus was founded in Stockholm 2005 and is named after Orpheus, the legendary musician in ancient Greek mythology. They have a broad repertoire of Greek music, ranging from traditional folk music to modern songs.
The Greek choir tonight will be conducted by Rolando Pomo, and playing the piano is Johan Sandback. Η συμμετοχή της πατρίδας μου της Ελλάδας στη χριστουγεννιάτικη συναυλία μας απόψε, τα κάλαντα Χριστουγέννων της Δωδεκανήσου. Ένα θερμό χειροκρότημα παρακαλώ για τη χοροδία Ορφέας.
German word for peace. In the words of the German philosopher Immanuel Kant, Friede ist das Meisterwerk der Vernunft. Peace is the masterpiece of reason.
German Christmas traditions, such as the Advent calendar and the Advent wreath, date back to the 19th century and have spread all over the world. In early December, the Christmas market, Weihnachtsmarkt, becomes a feature in almost every city, town, or village. On the evening of the 5th of December, children place a boot in front of the street door, hoping that St. Nikolaus will fill it with sweets overnight. On Christmas Eve, they wait for Christkind to place presents under the Christmas tree.
Vom Himmel hoch, da komm ich her. From heaven above to earth I come. A classic Christmas carol written in 1534 by Martin Luther. The melody can also be heard in Johann Sebastian Bach's Christmas oratorio. The Swedish Christmas song, Ett barn är fött på denna dag, is partly based on this hymn.
Haga Mottet Choir is an independent mixed choir founded in 1991. The repertoire includes both sacred and secular music from the Renaissance to the present day. They are sitting on our organ balcony for our performance tonight. Mikael Dirks, one of the initiators of the organ festival Organ Space Stockholm, will also play the organ for us tonight.
Der deutsche Beitrag heute Abend, vom Himmel hoch, da komme ich her. Ein großer Applaus für Haga Mottet Choir.
Paz. This is how the Spaniards call peace. in the words of the Spanish poet Blas de Otero. Escribo en defensa del reino del hombre y su justicia. Pido la paz y la palabra. I write in defense of the kingdom of man and his justice. I ask for peace and the word.
In Spain, families come together on Christmas Eve and on Christmas Day, enjoying the season's traditional sweets, turrón and polvorones. In most houses and public spaces, a nativity scene can be found, a Belén. Santa Claus, Papa Noel, pays a visit during Christmas, but most children in Spain await the arrival of the three wise men from the east, Reyes Magos, on the 6th of January.
The Spanish song is divided into two parts. Estocolmo en Navidad, Stockholm at Christmas, and Ángeles Confiteros, Pastry Angels, both composed by Gabriel Lezcano. The first part is a small introduction to our feelings during Christmas in our city: snow, peace, and love. The second part is a Christmas carol, Villancico, based on the poem of the famous writer and poet Concha Mendez. The song refers to children's feelings and the ambience in the streets at Christmas, as well as the birth of a new child.
Kultur på Spanska-kören was founded in 2019. They want to contribute to the cultural life of Stockholm with their music, language, melodies, and attitude. They are all driven by the same incentive, to show their passion through music.
Conducting the choir and playing the piano, Gabriel Lezcano. La canción española esta noche, Estocolmo en Navidad y Ángeles Confiteros. Un gran aplauso para Kultur på Spanska-kören.
Navidad,
Taika is peace in Lithuanian. In the words of the Lithuanian philosopher and political theorist Leonidas Donskis, only the higher level of self-consciousness, peace with yourself and with the world, allows to reach the state of freedom of civilized man and curbed violence and destruction.
In Lithuania, Christmas Eve is the most important day, when families gather in the evening to have the kūčios meal together, which should not include any meat, eggs, or milk until midnight. An extra plate is often set during the dinner for family members who have passed away, as there's a traditional belief that they come and join the family around the table that evening. People who would otherwise be alone are also invited. Later in the night, Santa Claus, Kalle de Senelis, is bringing the gifts, arriving through the keyholes when nobody is watching.
Atleke Elnias Devinaragis, the nine-horned deer has come. The Lithuanian song represents the interaction between the ancient pagan religion and elements of the Christian traditions. The nine-horned deer is an ancient creature in Lithuanian mythology that carries celestial bodies on its horns, usually the moon, but also the sun.
The ethnographic ensemble Bitkrishle was founded in 2018 in Stockholm, bringing together people who love the Lithuanian folklore song and ethnocultural heritage. The harmonious folklore songs are enlivened by the sounds of a traditional Lithuanian instrument called kankles.
Playing the kankles tonight, Edita Lemonnier, and the violin, Jurgita Narushite. Lietuviška daina, Atliekie Elnias Devinarangis, didelis pagyrimas už Bitkrisle. Béke is the Hungarian word for peace. Our quote is from Albert Szent-Györgyi, the Hungarian Medicine Nobel laureate of 1932. A békehez nem bombák kellenek, hanem jó akarat és emberi együttérzés. It is not bombs that achieve peace, but goodwill and human compassion.
On Christmas Eve, the Hungarians decorate the Christmas tree with ornaments and put the wrapped presents below. Children are waiting for the arrival of the angel from heaven and baby Jesus, who bring the presents. After a big meal, the family members sing carols around the tree and open presents together.
Mönyböl az angel, angel from heaven, is one of the oldest and most popular Christmas songs in Hungary. The songwriter is most likely the parish priest, Mihai Szent Mihai, who lived in the 19th century. The song is about the angel delivering the good news to the shepherds in the fields that Jesus Christ is born.
The Hungarian Chamber Choir of Stockholm was founded in 2007 to keep the Hungarian musical traditions alive in Sweden. Their repertoire consists of Hungarian songs arranged by famous Hungarian composers, but they also sing Swedish and international choral pieces from the Renaissance to the modern period.
The Hungarian choir will be conducted by Laszlo Harmat. A magyar dal, mennyből az angyal, nagy taps, a stockholmi magyar kamerakórus.
La paix, the French word for peace. In the words of the French romantic writer Victor Hugo, vous voulez la paix? Créez l'amour. If you want peace, create love.
In France, the traditional Christmas meal takes place on the 24th of December and includes oysters, foie gras, smoked salmon, and turkey. The dinner usually ends with the bûche de Noël, a sponge cake shaped like a Yule log. After that, people are ready to go to church for the midnight mass, messe de minuit. Before going to bed, children leave a hot beverage and some biscuits for the French Santa Claus, known as Père Noël, Father Christmas.
Noël, Christmas, composed by Gabriel Fauré in 1885, a little Christmas song destined for a performance where a harmonium was available to add a festive Carillion color to the piano accompaniment. The lyrics are set on a poem by Victor Wilder.
Noria Humla is a classically trained lyrical soprano from Stockholm. She grew up immersed in music and has extensive experience with both solo and choral performances in a wide range of genres. She's accompanied on the piano by her former music teacher from Franska skolan.
Per Olsson va jouer du piano. La chanson française ce soir, Noël. Un grand applaudissement à Noria Humla.
Le givre toi suspense froid.
Shiokan is peace in Irish. How cool that we also have a Celtic language tonight. Here is a saying from Ireland. Go dogga dia Shiokan om nollak sho. May you be blessed with peace this Christmas.
In Ireland, children are sent to bed on Christmas Eve in anticipation of the arrival of Santa Claus on Christmas morning. A pint of Guinness and traditional mince pies with candied fruit and spice may be left for Santa to enjoy during the busiest time of year. On Christmas Day, you can find turkey, ham, roast potatoes, cranberry sauce, mince pies, and Christmas pudding on the Christmas dinner tables around Ireland.
Donicha iud emehel, that night in Bethlehem. The Irish song is a beloved Christmas carol to an Irish text by the poet and theologian Eamacangel. The poem, which describes the first Christmas, is widely published in Ireland. The carol celebrates the birth of Jesus Christ on that night in Bethlehem, where the Word of God was born. The origin of the melody is unknown, but may go back as far as the 7th century.
The Irish choir is composed of a group of enthusiastic amateurs with a love of Irish culture and music. They are all members of the Swedish-Irish Society in Stockholm.
Playing the violin tonight, Angela de Berca, who has performed with major Irish orchestras, rock bands and theatre companies. And on the guitar, Lockie, a recording artist and producer with over 25 years of experience as touring musician in Europe. Embrana eiran a nocht, don icha iud emehel, Cade Mille Falce, 100,000 welcomes to the Swedish-Irish Society Choir. Mir. This is how the Czechs call peace. In the words of the Czech painter and writer Josef Čapek, Mir mezi národy je závislý na míru v lidech samých. The peace between nations is dependent on the peace within people.
Presents are brought in Czechia by Ježíšek, baby Jesus, on Christmas Eve. Most families follow a few common traditions. For example, those who fast until dinner time, they will see a golden pig. At the Christmas table, one extra place is always set for a possible traveler. It's not allowed to leave the dinner table before everyone has finished eating. The traditional Christmas dinner consists of fish soup and fried carp with potato salad.
Sliby se mají plnit o Vánocích. Promises should be fulfilled at Christmas. The Czech entry is written in 1993 by singer, guitarist and composer Janek Ledecky. It's noteworthy that this Christmas ballad was written in August and became the basis for the whole Christmas album and also for the musical Christmas Miracle. The song is about young love and reminds us that Christmas is above all a time of forgiveness and kindness.
Marek Pleva is an intern at the Embassy of the Czech Republic in Stockholm. His grandfather was a double world champion of the harmonica. His whole family are musicians, and he has been involved in music all his life. He is in two bands, the Inversion and the Easy Steps.
And he's also going to play the guitar. Česká písnička dnes večer. Slíbí se mají plnit o Vánocích. Velký potlesk za Marek Pleva.
Soumrak má náskok a hvězdy jsou o trochu níž. Možná, že je to zdání, možná jsme si o trošku blíž. Bylo nám 16 a výjimečně napadl sníh. Řekl jsem, touhy se mají plnit o Vánocích. Rychle se smívá a voní cukroví. V kostele zpívaj a nikdo se nedoví. Nešli jsme na mši, nechali klíče ve dveřích. Touhy a sliby se mají plnit do Vánocí. Nejhezčí dárek jsem dostal a je to už let. Ptal jsem se smím, řekla jsi musíš a to teď hned. Svoukla si svíčku, nechala světla za dveří. Sliby se mají plnit o Vánocích. Sliby se mají plnit o Vánocích. Občas tě potkám a řeknem si stěží pár svět. Měli jsme navždy, jenže bylo nám 16 let. A když svouknu ty svíčky, občas slyším ten tvůj smích. Pakže sliby se mají plnit o Vánocích. Tak píšu ti přání, lehký a bílý jak sníh PS. O Vánocích.
Mir is the word peace in Croatian, another Slavic language. In the words of the Croat writer Vesna Krmpotić, kad doživite mir, čujete divan duboki zvuk ljubavi. When you experience peace, you can hear the beautiful, profound sound of love.
Christmas traditions in Croatia vary among regions and might last for an entire month. Sveti Nikola on 6th of December marks the beginning of the gift-giving season. On this eve, children clean their boots and leave them on the windowsill, hoping to receive gifts along with wooden sticks. Both Christmas Eve and Christmas Day are celebrated within close family. After dinner, Croats attend the solemn midnight mass. The Christmas celebrations end on Epiphany on the 6th of January.
U se vrime godišta, at that time of the year. The Croatian song is an authentic Croatian folk canto and one of the oldest Croatian Christmas carols. Due to its popularity, it was given the place of honor to be performed before the midnight mass. It is the work of an unknown poet. The melody originates from the old Latin song In hoc anni circulo. The song describes the birth of Jesus Christ and is sung with linguistic adaptations from the Middle Ages to the present day.
The Tamburica band of the Croatian Catholic Mission in Stockholm consists of 8 musicians. The tamburica is a traditional musical instrument in Croatia. The tamburica ensembles in Croatian communities around the world, including Sweden, reflect their desire to keep the Croatian musical heritage alive for the future generations.
Hrvatska pjesma večeras U se vrime godišta. Veliki pljesak za tamburaški sastav Hrvatske katoličke misije u Štokholmu.
U
Miers is peace in Latvian. In the words of the Latvian poet Imants Ziedonis, es izlūdzos vienu brīdi miera, apstāšanās brīdi, vienu sastinguma brīdi. I beg for a moment of peace, a moment of stopping and stillness.
In Latvia, Christmas is called Ziemasvētki. The pagan traditions of winter solace are still very much alive. The main celebration day is Christmas Eve, just like here in Sweden. Christmas trees are common, and so are Christmas gifts. To receive a gift, you must sing a song or read a poem.
Velti jums mīlestībai, a tribute to love. The song was not originally written as a Christmas song. In the 1990s, it was featured in a Christmas movie that became popular in Latvia and made this song an integral part of the Christmas repertoire. In the words of the composer, Martins Brauns, it is a song about things that are beautiful and inspire us.
Stockholmietes is the name of the Latvian women's vocal ensemble in Stockholm, led by tonight's conductor Sandra Leje Boysten. They will be joined for this performance by Kristina Botrosa, a staff member at the Embassy of Latvia in Sweden, her daughter Ruta, and the intern Emilia Kate Thomsone.
Playing the piano tonight, Ginta Vitola, and the accordion, Guntis Urtans. Latvia šudiesma, velti jums mīlestībai, lieli aplausi, dāmu koris Stockholmietes.
Frieden, peace in German. In the words of the Austrian author Marie von Ebner-Eschenbach, Frieden kannst du nur haben, wenn du ihn gibst. You can only have peace if you give it.
Christmas in Austria is celebrated with several charming traditions, where the Christmas tree, Weihnachtsbaum, plays a central role. There is a specific time when they light the tree for the first time, which is around 7 o'clock on Christmas Eve, when the whole family gathers to sing Christmas carols. Presents are placed under the tree, and young children believe that they were brought to them as a reward for good behavior by the Christchild, Christkind.
Stille Nacht, Heilige Nacht, Silent Night, Holy Night is our favorite Christmas carol that originated in the state of Salzburg. The composer, Franz Xaver Gruber, an elementary school teacher and organist, wrote the song in 1818 in a village close to Salzburg. Josef Mohr, a young priest in the neighboring town of Oberndorf, handed a poem to his organist friend Gruber with a request to set it to music for a Christmas Mass at St. Nicholas Church. The legend has it that on Christmas Day that year, the organ was broken, and this provided the opportunity for the song to be performed.
The Silent Nights is an Austrian choir that was formed in view of performing at our EU Christmas concert tonight. They kindly ask for your help, so this is how we will do it. The first, only one, verse will be sung by our Austrian choir in German. After that, we would like all of you in the audience to join in to sing 2 more verses as a sing-along.
Silent Night has been translated into some 140 languages, and we have actually included the first verse in all 24 official EU languages, plus Ukrainian, in the booklet you have in front of you, on pages 52 to 54. So please have a look now and decide in which language or languages you will sing along.
We suggest that you sing 1 time in your mother tongue and 1 time in another language that you choose. Because yes, we are going to sing in all different languages at the same time.
But first, let's have the Austrian choir sing the first verse. The Austrian choir is conducted by Elisabeth Pavlovich David, and the organ will be played again by Michael Dirks. Das österreichische Weihnachtslied heute Abend, Stille Nacht, Heilige Nacht. Ein großer Applaus für the Silent Nights.
Heilige
Fred, the Swedish word for peace. In the words of Alfred Nobel, goda önskningar kan inte försäkra fred om de är ensamma. Good wishes cannot ensure peace if they are alone.
For those who haven't been long in Sweden, Christmas Eve is the most important day of Christmas here. Already in the morning of Christmas Eve, the celebrations begin with Santa's porridge for breakfast. Lucky is the person who gets the one almond hiding in the porridge. Later in the afternoon or evening, the traditional Christmas buffet is served. Pickled herring, gravlax, pâté, knäckebröd, Christmas ham, meatballs with beetroot salad, lutfisk, and much more.
And Nikos, don't forget the personal visit by Santa Claus in every home. After dinner, strangely enough, when the father goes out to buy a newspaper, Jultomten knocks on the door, comes in and asks if there are any good children at home. Then he personally hands out the gifts before rushing out to the next home.
How lucky Swedish children are who get to meet Santa. But I haven't been so lucky myself. I have tried for the third time to bring one of the Melodifestivalen stars here tonight to sing the Swedish entry, but no luck.
Don't worry, Nikos. We already have a tradition, a sing-along of the Swedish Christmas carol Nu tändas tusen juleljus. Could you please accompany us on the piano again this year?
I'm only doing this for you so that you know.
I know. Thank you. Nu tändas tusen juleljus. Now 1,000 Christmas candles are lit. It's a traditional Christmas song from 1898, written by Emmy Köhler. The theme of the song is the gospel of the newborn Christ and its aspects of domestic harmony and inner peace, brought by the lights of candles as well as of the stars. It was one of the most popular Christmas songs in Sweden during the 20th century, in churches, homes, and schools. It was added to the Swedish Book of Psalms in 1986. So now please turn to page 51 in our song booklet and let's all sing along. Nu tändas tusen juleljus. Och en stor applåd till oss alla. Det gjorde vi jättebra. Let's give all our performers this year again.
12 points. 12 poäng. 12 points. We hope you enjoyed the third edition of our EU Christmas concert. It was a pleasure having you with us on our musical journey throughout our continent, Europe. We have heard 23 songs by our amazing performers, as well as quotes about peace from all over our continent. Let's finish with one more quote, please. A quote by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Життя переможе смерть, а світлу темряву. Life will win over death, and light will win over darkness. Slava Ukraini, and we should also say, Slava Evropi!
We would like to thank everybody who made this concert possible. We would like to thank everybody who made this concert possible, especially our colleagues at the representation and the participating embassies and institutes. It has been a pleasure working with all of you. Before you leave, please make sure you have all your belongings with you, and please feel free to take your own copy of the song booklet.
And we would like to wish Merry Christmas to the rest of our EU family members who were not with us tonight.
Let's do that quickly. Glädelig jul, Danmark.
Tjej Kristus Lützeburg.
Ilmilid Itabjeb, Malta.
Vrolle Kerstfeest, Nederland.
Hyvää joulua, Suomi. God jul, Finland.
God jul, Europa!
Tack för ikväll.
Hej då!